Commander.
Yo, bro, welcome to my stream. Good to see you here. The lack of music is what I don't like about Normandy as R2 here in Mass Effect 2. Also, I need to keep my log of which system I have visited around. Hehe. Well, let's do something interesting. Like Exodus Cluster. Right, Annos Basin. What does this mean? I hear a sound over there.
I found something.
What? I need to do this? Fuck. Wreckage. The wreckage of fuel depot destroyed by enemy forces. Fuel can be salvaged from the debris. Recovered 200 units of fuel. This is priority. Right, I might as well load. Oh, I already did this. Load scam. Oh yeah. Kite's Nest. Right, let's go to Kite's Nest. Arsa star system. Dezhda. A dwarf planet, Dezhda was explored in the beginnings of the Batarian space age and mined for its unusual occurrences of uranium, which was rare on Karshan. Whether the planet has been completely mined out is unclear. Accurate data on the planet was lost after a power struggle within the Batarian government. The Reaper attack has further worsened the information flow. Orbital distance 0.8 astronomical units, orbital period 0.7 Earth years, radius 1528 km, day length 68.6 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 16.28 Earth atmosphere, surface temperature 322 Celsius, surface gravity 0.28 G. Karshan. The Batarian homeworld is wrapped less in mystery than in outright lies. Batarian propaganda claims the world has 15 billion inhabitants and an economy that rivals the Asari. Although the legal slave trade does boost the Batarians' profit somewhat, Citadel sanctions have left a paper tiger of an empire, one that fights rivals through deniable terrorist actions rather than the wars of its heyday centuries ago. The Reapers will likely be the death blow to that empire. Almost no information has escaped Karshan since the Reapers destroyed the convoys, but Batarian refugees say that resistance has created a bond among the commoners. If a new government can rise from the ashes, that bond may sustain a new Batarian society. Orbital distance 1.45 astronomical units, orbital period 1.7 Earth years, radius 5222 km, day length 18.5 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.62 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature 33 Celsius, surface gravity 0.96 G. Verush is a hydrogen helium gas giant named for an ancient Batarian monarch whose empire spanned continents. He had such a penchant for mating that 0.6% of modern Batarians claim to trace their lineage to him. The planet's moons are named after his many recognized wives. The largest Bira concealed Prothean ruins that helped the Batarians develop FTL travel. It is a Batarian point of pride that since the ruins were damaged by earthquakes, they had less information to go on than other spacefaring species. The Reapers have destroyed all obvious military outposts in Verush orbit. The Batarians' notorious secrecy, however, may have allowed concealed subterranean facilities on Verush moons to survive. Orbital distance 5.4 astronomical units, orbital period 12.6 Earth years, radius 53,150 km, day length 11.4 Earth hours. Item. Elam. Item. A tiny rock and ice planet that is now missing much of its size. Elam was part of a grand project by a hegemony dictator known as Grebosh the Mad. His aim was to drop enormous chunks of Elam's ice on the surfaces of otherwise uninhabitable desert planets in the hopes of creating sustainable lakes and seas. Wiser heads than he pointed out and delivering a comment was more plausible, but Grebosh executed those who disagreed with him. Grebosh's career was surprisingly long given his loose grip on reality, mostly because his projects employed large numbers of Batarians. Today, Elam lies abandoned. Hegemony spy drones still orbit the planet, but it is doubtful anyone on Karshan is paying attention to what data they send back. Orbital period 11.3 astronomical units, orbital period 38.1 Earth years, radius 2,179 kilometers. Day length 42.9 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure trace, surface temperature minus 176 Celsius, surface gravity 0.06 G. Speculas. Speculas is a relatively large rock and ice planet known for its deposits of magnetically active Pericles, which interferes with some starship scans. Conspiracy theories and pulp adventure claim that secret fortresses are concealed under the ice. The Reaper invasion force appears to have passed the planet by, which is likely the only insight that organics will ever have into the Reaper's literary taste. Orbital distance 21 astronomical unit, orbital period 96.5 Earth years, radius 7,594 km, day length 49.9 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure trace, surface temperature minus 194 Celsius, surface gravity 1.18 G. Excuse me for that? I thought I disabled all that shit. Nah, I didn't. Screw that. Yep, everything's disabled now. Good. We're good to continue. Our safes come in this shit.
I found something.
Wreckage. 300 units of fuel. Start scanner. Lost and found. What exactly did you find? Weapon upgrade kit. What if I do this? Nothing happens. Oh well. Reaper alertness. Wreckage is Earth. This looks like almost intact. Good one, bro. Harshan. What exactly have we found? Lost and found 2 out of 10. Citadel Pillars of Strength. Journal updated. Artifacts Pillars of Strength. The Pillars of Strength, the Batarian artifacts, were recovered from the Kite's nest. Find someone on the Citadel who can use them. Wrecked. Right, let's not alert the Reapers yet.
Normandy, we are transferring your docking clearance to an Alliance official.
Figures. Finally back in action, the Alliance already wants us tagged and collared.
Just our way of welcoming you back, Flight Lieutenant.
Yes ma'am, requesting docking permission?
Docking permission granted. Would you like private transport arranged?
Huh. Embassies, maybe?
I need to get to the embassies.
Yes, Commander.
Incoming Reaper forces. Destroyed by an unknown force. Early reports indicate that Earth has fallen to the same enemy force
Morning.
Oh. Hello, ma'am.
Commander Shepard. Hope the Citadel's been treating you well. I'm still just trying to keep things in order. Feels like I'm fighting a losing battle.
We both have jobs to do, Bailey. I suggest we do them.
Yep. Good talking to you, Shepard.
Shepard?
I should go.
I'll be here.
Yeah, he has balcony here. Nice. What's this? Where's your discount, Madge? Can you see this? There's something floating right above Shepard's head. What is it? How do I find anyone who can be of use for our newly found artifact? Well, I suppose we can't find them on embassy level. Let's go and, I don't know. Let's take it to the hospital. Visit Katie, for instance.
One moment, please. Now arriving at Huerta Memorial Hospital.
Recent intel suggests that the entire Batarian hegemony...
Hello again, Commander. Here to see our patient?
How is Caden doing?
The head trauma was severe, but these types of injury, you can go see him if you like. He's just under all.
Keep up the good work, Doctor.
You too, Commander.
Early reports indicate that Earth has fallen to the same enemy force that attacked Batarians.
I can't visit Kaden, of course. Nobody here is interested in our
I'm not
artifact.
sitting out this war in a bed.
Lieutenant, listen to me. With the missing limb, you'll just...
Kaden Reese, stand the fuck up!
Welcome, Commander Shepard.
Docking
One
bay,
moment,
maybe?
please. Now arriving at Docking Bay D-24.
Indicate that Earth has fallen to the same enemy force that attacked Batarian space.
Nobody's here to talk about my artifact. Well, this is shit.
Just sign that behind enemy lines and take the wars.
Right, let's see what's changed. The alertness level is still up. Fuck. Untrail. Eska. Let's write this down. According to Batarian propaganda, the Batarian population exceeds the council races, the Batarian military is the most powerful, and the Batarians' unlivable hothouse planets are the hottest and most unlivable. Their best proof is this last point is Eska, which closely orbits the scorching yellow-white star Untrail. Eska's nitrogen-heavy atmosphere might once have held oxygen, but if so, it burned off long ago. Even robo-miners don't care for Eska. Although some modern mining equipment can withstand the heat, the machinery still gets stuck in the soup of molten light metals in the planet's surface. Reaper presence near Eska seems light. Scans reveal wreckage orbiting the planet, likely destroyed hegemony surveillance drones. Orbital distance 1.2 astronomical units, orbital period 1 Earth year, radius 6,372 km, day length 30 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 78.43 Earth atmosphere, surface temperature 1144 Celsius, surface gravity 1.33 G. Klaus is a rock planet with almost no atmosphere to speak of. Consequently, the planet retains fairly little heat considering how close it orbits to an energetic star. The relatively mild temperature made Klaus attractive for robo-mining with an emphasis on platinum. The planet also has an abundance of sodium oxide used in the manufacture of but profit margins on that compound are thin by comparison. The Reapers have destroyed the orbital stations surrounding Klaus and cut the strands of the space elevators that earlier generations of Batarians used to transport goods to orbit. Orbital distance 2.3 astronomical units, orbital period 2.7 Earth years, radius 10,116 km, day length 64.3 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure trace, surface temperature 88 Celsius, surface gravity 1.26 G. Adek is a brutally hot and wet garden world covered with molds and lichen analogues. It has many viruses and bacteria lethal to Batarian physiology. The hegemony colonized Adek early in its expansion, but few of the colonists wanted to stay. The result was domination by a class of landed slave owners. A small cadre of well-paid engineers and skilled laborers kept the planet's mechs and infrastructure functioning. Alliance estimates put the planet's Batarian population at just over 6 million, but that number has likely fallen since the Reapers arrived. Orbital distance 4.5 astronomical units, orbital period 7.3 Earth years, radius 5,075 km, day length 58 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.45 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature 60 Celsius, surface gravity 0.78 G. Uza is a methane-rich gas giant. The wreckage around the Helium-3 infrastructure is unusual. It looks like as if fleeing Batarians tried to sever the collection equipment and take it with them when they were attacked. No Reaper ships, functional or otherwise, are immediately detectable, suggesting that the Batarians may have actually turned on each other. Orbital distance 18 astronomical units, orbital period 58.7 Earth years, radius 37,445 km, day length 14 Earth hours.
Signal confirmed.
Wreckage. The wreckage of a fuel depot destroyed by enemy forces. Fuel can be salvaged from the debris. Plus 10,000 credits. Credits salvaged. This is good, I guess. We got financial support. %% assets recovered. Really?
Evasion successful. Reapers eluded. Faster than light jump successful. Evasion successful. Reapers eluded.
Right, we saw how it works. And that there is nothing else to scan there. Or so. Let's just leave. Right, Kite's Nest explored 100%. It is Gamma. Antaeus. Ageko. During the initial survey of the Antaeus system, only a single flyby probe was spared for the small scorched world of Ageko. It revealed the planet unusually rich in heavier elements given its size. Ageko is a standard net terrestrial with a thin atmosphere of krypton and xenon. Its crust is mainly composed of magnesium with deposits of cobalt and other heavy metals. Due to extremely rough, cratered terrain, starships are discouraged from landing. Orbital distance 0.25 astronomical units, orbital period 0.1 Earth years. Radius 2,147 km, their length 59.9 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.27 Earth atmosphere, surface temperature 346 Celsius, surface gravity quarter G. Trebin is a modest terrestrial world with an atmosphere composed of nitrogen and argon. Its surface is mainly composed of nickel with deposits of silver. Trebin's environment is relatively mild, but the scarcity of water or similar enabling substances has prevented the development of any biosphere. Exogenic Corp recently performed a test impact of a single waterized comet into the surface, the first step of a long-term plan to thicken the atmosphere and introduce water to the environment. A service team on the surface monitoring the geological and meteorological effects of the test impact. Most of the water released is still in the form of atmospheric vapor, but thick cloud banks have formed. There is every indication that this arid world will soon see its first rain. The survey team's progress has been hampered by frequent mechanical or computer failures in their GPS satellites. Orbital distance 1 astronomical unit, orbital period 1.1 Earth years, radius 5,489 kilometers, day length 41.8 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.84 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature 8 Celsius, surface gravity 0.86 G. Atmos is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant with the traces of methane in its atmosphere. If Trebin's terraforming is successful, it is expected that a helium-3 fuel refining facility for the system will be set up here. Orbital distance 3.65 astronomical units, orbital period 7.8 Earth years, radius 36,826 kilometers, day length 13.7 Earth hours. Ploba. It is the second and by far the larger of Vanatia's two gas giants. Active scans by survey ships have returned tantalizing indications of massive solid structures deep within the atmosphere, too regular in pattern to be anything natural. Some believe Ploba is the Jupiter Brain, a planet-sized supercomputer. Adherents of this theory have fruitlessly beamed signals toward the sunken megastructures, hoping to get the machine's attention. Others believe that an ancient spacefaring race disposed of their weapons of war by dumping them in the planet. The last attempt to reach and salvage Ploba's deep anomalies went tragically wrong and ended with a crew of B-12 being trapped and crushed in the gas giant's lower atmosphere. Orbital distance 6.93 astronomical units, orbital period 20.4 Earth years, radius 74,221 km, day length 17.3 Earth hours. Janed. Good one, bro. Vemal is an enormous terrestrial world of mixed rock and ice with an atmosphere of methane and ethane. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of calcium with deposits of iron. Because of noxious surface gases, explorers are warned to use extreme caution. Orbital distance 10.38 astronomical units, orbital period 37.5 Earth years, radius 10,314 km, day length 36.3 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 1 Earth atmosphere, surface temperature minus 61 Celsius, surface gravity 1.1 G. There's the planet. Hunidor. It's a moderately sized ice world with an extremely thin atmosphere composed of krypton and xenon. Its frozen surface is unusually smooth, suggesting widespread repaving by cryovolcanic processes, though no such activity is currently evident. Orbital distance 18.68 astronomical units, orbital period 90.5 Earth years, radius 3,686 km, day length 48.2 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.2 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature 202 Celsius, surface gravity 0.22 G. Lots of 2's on that. Right, we've read everything here. Let's save the game and start scanning.
I found something.
Plus 10,000 credits. Credits recovered. 50% assets recovered. Wreckage, 300 units of fuel.
Evasion successful.
Right, this wreckage is close to the mass relay, so we may as well use it when we need that amount of fuel. Zayarter, an enigmatic terrestrial planet, Zayarter has a hazy atmosphere of nitrogen and argon. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of calcium with deposits of sodium. 3 times in the last century, ships stopping to discharge at Triarmus have reported geometric patterns of light on the dark side of Zayarter. Attempts at closer investigation proved fruitless. The light disappears when ships approach the inner system. Orbital distance 2 astronomical units, orbital period 2.1 Earth years, radius 5,535 kilometers, day length 53.8 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure half Earth atmospheres, surface temperature 166 Celsius, surface gravity 0.7 g. Chohe is a terrestrial planet whose surface is mainly composed of aluminum with numerous deposits of calcium. Though it has enough mass to retain a dense atmosphere, Chohe is nearly a vacuum. This lack of atmosphere allows a moderate average temperature, but the differences between day and night are extreme. The surface of Chohe's sunward facing side is usually covered by a haze of volatiles, mainly water vapor and carbon dioxide, which return to the ground as frost over the course of the long cold night. The Surta Foundation has established a research outpost on Chohe to investigate the native subterranean life of Chohe, which shows incredible resilience to extremes of heat and cold. Orbital distance 3.7 astronomical units, orbital period 5.4 Earth years, radius 8,000 kilometers, day length 54.5 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure none, Earth surface temperature 11 Celsius, surface gravity 1 g. Where's this little planet? There it is. Zamari. It is a small, airless crater terrestrial, a lifeless rock quite similar to Luna. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of silicates, though one hemisphere has several seas of dark basaltic rock. Orbital distance 13.03 astronomical units, orbital period 36.1 Earth years, radius 2,236 kilometers, day length 42.1 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure none, surface temperature minus 117 Celsius, surface gravity 0.19 g. Faringor. A large but low-density terrestrial world, Faringor is generally believed to consist mainly of water ice. Occasional upwelling of metals caused by the interacting tidal forces of several large moons suggests the core is small but extremely dense. Faringor has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and methane. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of dark carbon-laced water ice. 13 years ago, Faringor's grim surface color and dim illumination drew the cinematographer Riza Uvarsin to film the exterior scenes of Starless on location. Acknowledged as a masterpiece of gothic horror, the sets, well preserved by the vacuum, draw hundreds of tourists to the backwater system every year. Orbital distance 20.2 astronomical units, orbital period 69.8 Earth years, radius 11,129 kilometers, day length 69.6 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure none, surface temperature minus 144 Celsius. Will this tourist space junk be of any worth to us? Triarmus is a hydrogen helium gas giant with a powerful magnetic field, making it a popular discharge site for freighters working the Anansi Ishtar shipping route. It is popular enough, in fact, that Quarian ships can often be found loitering in orbit, selling the freighter crews cheap refreshment, salvage and odd craftswork assembled by their children. There are no ships in orbit at present, however. Orbital distance 51.75 astronomical units, orbital period 286.7 Earth years, radius 42,211 kilometers, day length 12.8 Earth hours. Alright, let's go through this asteroid field. Nothing can be found. Let's try these orbits. Right, we have flown enough. Let's scan it.
Signal confirmed.
Plus 10,000 credits. %50 assets what? 50 save games? Excuse me? Yeah, of course. Only 50 save games. What the hell were they thinking? Now we can save the game.
Evasion successful. Reapers eluded. Evasion successful.
It says 50% assets recovered.
Reapers eluded. Evasion successful. Evasion successful.
Evasion successful, pants wet. My guess is that if we scanned too much, the further scans don't develop any results. basically leading to nothing. There's something here. Wreckage, 400 units of fuel. Oh, that's good. We are refueled now. And we can stay and chill in this system still. Right, let's get the fuck out of here. Farinata. Tunchagon is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and nitrogen in its atmosphere. It has an unusually small number of moons for a gas giant, a mere 7. This is likely due to the star of Farinata capturing the majority of the mass during the nebular collapse that created the system. Orbital distance 5.65 astronomical units, orbital period 3.2 Earth years, radius 42,418 km, the length 9.1 Earth hours. Chuntauma is a small, broiling terrestrial world. Its thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and methane is being steadily blown off by the powerful solar wind from the star Farinata. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of sulfur with deposits of copper. Its density is low enough to leave the world tightly locked to Farinata. The Alliance Defense Data Networks noted that several ships have been spotted cruising near Chuntauma with transponders turned off. While an Alliance patrol attempted pursuit of one, the unidentified vessel rabbited to FTL. Its trail was lost when it obscured its light trace in the confusion of signals along the Anansi Ishtar shipping lane. Orbital distance 57.05 astronomical units, orbital period 102 Earth years, radius 4,227 km, their length 102 Earth years. Atmospheric pressure 0.36 at Earth atmosphere, surface temperature 1176 Celsius, surface gravity 0.38 G.
I found something.
I scanned it by mistake. What have we found? Alliance frigate Alincourt. Or as it updated, Alliance First Fleet. %50 assets acquired. $200 units of fuel.
Evasion successful.
So we may as well load. Because now I know where to find both assets. We already read everything. So we can cover the whole system with one scan.
I found something.
Right, now we can chill in this system. Saves come for the win. Onwards, onwards, to be showered with Imperial gold. This system. Jartar is a terrestrial world with a trace atmosphere of Krypton and Xenon. The surface is hot and primarily composed of unremarkable silicates. Occasional deposits of aluminum, magnesium and other light metals can be found. Jartar is loved for the discovery of the Leviathan of Dis, the apparent corpse of a genetically engineered living starship. The Leviathan was found in the bottom of a crater by a Batarian survey team and estimated to be nearly 1 billion years old. It disappeared after a visit to the system by Batarian dreadnought 20 years ago. Since then, the Batarians have steadfastly denied that all the Leviathan existed at all more vociferously when shown recordings of the corpse made by Solarian researchers. Orbital distance 1.85 astronomical units, orbital period 2.8 Earth years, radius 1410 kilometers, tail length 2.8 Earth years, atmospheric pressure none, surface temperature 82 Celsius, surface gravity 0.17 G. Layer is a terrestrial world with a thin atmosphere of methane and argon. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of basaltic rock. Its most prominent feature is the Elos Rift Valley, a long volcanic divergence zone that stretches across half of the northern hemisphere. Orbital distance 3.15 astronomical units, orbital period 6.3 Earth years, radius 6,779 kilometers, day length 31.7 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.67 Earth atmosphere, surface temperature of 58 Celsius, surface gravity 0.82 G. Klensal has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and methane. Its first geological surveys were performed by Batarians and suggested areas of great mineral wealth. Human mining concerns spent billions of credits hustling to the distant system and sinking test bores to claim the system for humanity. But Klensal had only an average level of mineral wealth valuable but hardly worth the Russian expense. Merida Industria, a small Mexican company hoping to strike it rich in the first extrasolar mining venture, had to file for bankruptcy protection. Investigation revealed the Batarian crew had deliberately falsified their surveys, hoping it would encourage human rivals to invest in a costly boondoggle. Well, unethical, that was not technically illegal, and the Batarian government disavowed the personal actions of few misguided patriots. The planet is still littered with abandoned mining bases, which are often used as temporary meeting places for criminals. Orbital distance 7.15 astronomical units, orbital period 21.4 Earth years, radius 5,447 kilometers, day length 37.2 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.58 Earth atmosphere, surface temperature minus 35 Celsius, surface gravity 0.86 G. Grammar is an icy terrestrial with a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and krypton. Its surface is mainly composed of frozen ammonia with deposits of tin and other light metals. But when exposed to sunlight, Grammar's ammonia can melt, forming equatorial seas of the toxic chemical. This has allowed a profusion of simple fungus and lichens to evolve in a low-energy environment. A byproduct of their metabolism causes them to glow very faintly. Where the light of an individual is insignificant, large patches seem to reinforce the light with one another and are visible from space. Orbital distance 10 astronomical units, orbital period 35.4 Earth years, radius 3,691 km, day length 61.7 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.27 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature minus 84 Celsius, surface gravity 0.28 G. Lots of haste. Raisha is a standard hydrogen helium gas giant with traces of sodium and ammonia in its atmosphere. During the brief gold rush to Klensal, a few companies established an infrastructure for helium-3 skimming and deuterium mining on Raisha's icy moons. When Clansel proved to be less wealthy than expected, the facilities were stripped for parts and abandoned. Orbital distance 17.98 astronomical units, orbital period 85.5 Earth years, radius 34,914 kilometers, day length 11.5 Earth hours. Too bad we can't launch probe after probe.
Signal confirmed.
$200 units of fuel. $10,000 credits.
Evasion successful. Signal confirmed.
Alright, we refueled. Stolen the Reaper's money. Kick away. Yeah, that's good, you know. Look at that, 100% assets recovered. Plutus. Mingito is a sunk-baked wasteland of sodium, chlorates and radioactives. Its relatively light mass has left it tightly locked to the star Plutus, with the day-side hot pole and the night-side cold pole. The powerful solar wind has stripped most of the atmosphere away. Orbital distance 1.8 astronomical units, orbital period 1.4 Earth years, radius 4,384 kilometers, day length 1.4 Earth years, atmospheric pressure 0.2 Earth atmosphere, surface temperature 675 Celsius, surface gravity 0.44 G. Maidla is a terrestrial planet with a light atmosphere of carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. The surface is hot and mainly composed of magnesia with deposits of sulfur. Over a dozen volcanoes are currently erupting across the surface. Orbital distance 3.2 astronomical units, orbital period 3.3 Earth years, radius 6,914 kilometers, day length 33.4 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.48 Earth atmosphere, surface temperature 497 Celsius, surface gravity 0.88 G. Clocrolis is a modest rock planet roughly the size of Mars. It has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and methane. Its scorching hot surface is mainly composed of silicate rock with deposits of aluminium and other light metals. Clocrolis has a very weak magnetic field. In addition to very high levels of solar radiation, it is not suitable for mass effect drive discharge operations. Orbital distance 12.5 astronomical units, orbital period 25.2 Earth years. Radius 3,675 kilometers daily length, 57 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 1.37 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature 161 Celsius. Surface gravity 1.39 G. Non-UL. Though it is one of the oldest entries in the star charts, non-UL has not yet been fully mapped. It is the largest body in the asteroid belt of the blue star Plotus, not only large enough to maintain a spherical shape, but also massive enough to retain the noxious carbon and sulfur dioxides venting from its many volcanoes as an atmosphere. Non-UL is rapidly volcanic, and the source of its great heat is also the source of its inordinate mass. Non-UL is a secondary source of element zero coalesced around a large chunk of ESO ejected by a supernova billions of years ago. Surface conditions are extremely hazardous. In addition to the thin crust and numerous magma flows, wide stretches of the landscape are coated with slippery ash and cinders ejected from the volcanoes. Orbital distance 30.808 astronomical units. Orbital period 94 Earth years. Radius 4,439 kilometers. Daily length 46.9 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure 0.88 Earth atmosphere. Surface temperature 127 Celsius. Surface gravity 0.85 G. Vayaria is a huge hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of methane in its atmosphere. Orbital distance 56.05 astronomical units. Orbital period 239.2 Earth years. Radius 78,204 kilometers. Daily length 10 Earth hours. Right, we're saving the game and starting to scan.
I found something.
We've got an achievement, Special Ops Team Zeta, or asset acquired, or asset updated, 103rd Marine Division.
Evasion successful. Reapers eluded. Faster than light jump successful. I found something. Evasion successful.
Wait, I didn't actually...
I found something.
Oh, these are all the assets of the system, so I don't need to scan further. That's good. "300 units of fuel recovered." Nice. Oh. There's an actual map here. Let's go and mess with Liara.
Dr. Tassoni found useful information in the data you recovered, Commander.
Really?
Hello again, Shepard.
We'll talk later, Liara.
Of course.
The field kit can be used for a one-time upgrade of a variety of weapons to increase ammo capacity or the potential damage dealt. Schematics have been scanned into the Normandy's onboard computers. Ammo capacity plus 5% or weapon damage plus 5%. We choose weapon damage. Farron has persuaded his contacts to ship an armor mod kit to the Normandy. Technically illegal in Citadel space, the kit's Omni-Gel converter and a manufacturing fabricator can make one-time modification to Shepard's armor, improving shield strength or adding thermal clip compartments. Ammo capacity plus 5% or shields plus 5%. Shields, of course.
Hello again, Shepard.
What have you been up to since we last saw each other?
Since you helped me defeat the Shadow Broker, I started looking for defenses against the Reapers. The Protheans were the only ones with substantial information on them. The older civilizations barely had records. I knew the Elusive Man was hunting for the same thing when our agents began crossing paths.
Like on Mars?
I thought I'd covered my tracks, but he had surveillance there all along.
You brought your little helper with you?
Its name is Glyph. It helped sort through all the data that led me to the archive on Mars.
It was a pleasure to be of assistance, Doctor.
Glyph's interfaced with the data feeds. Its analytical software should come in handy.
How much do you know about this Prothean artifact?
Very little. We're fortunate enough data survived to piece together the blueprints. Decoding them will require as many specialists as we can find.
It's that high-tech?
I'd have killed for a glimpse of it during graduate school.
What's been happening with you as the broker, Liara?
It's been exciting. The old broker's ship? Impressive, but it was never meant to be space-worthy. Which meant the Elusive Man eventually tracked me down on Hagalaz.
What happened?
I knew he was coming. Farron and I loaded as much of the ship's specialized hardware onto a shuttle as we could. We got away from Cerberus' ships after arranging an appropriate distraction.
What kind of distraction?
Sending the broker's ship exploding into a Cerberus cruiser. I don't think the elusive man expected me to give up my resources in such a spectacular fashion.
We'll talk later, Liara.
Of course.
Why is he looking to the other side? Broker terminal. Nothing new here.
How are you, Commander? How are you, Commander?
Starboard cargo, Diana Allers. You hello the shouts. Subdeck stairwell. Port cargo. You got 22 points. Ah, no more reputation bonus. Increase damage bonus and force bonus by 10%. The force damage of squad mate powers by 30%. How are you? This monster had me trapped. That was a good one, bro. I thought I pushed for engineering. And 4 Shuriken. And 3 Predator. Wait, I can equip that? No, I can't.
Reviewing our maintenance schedules one more time.
Sounds like the Turians got hit pretty hard by the Reapers.
Commander.
I'm bugging her while she broadcast something, or while she's doing some recording. I think our ship is understaffed.
Commander.
I like Adams with his cap. Without it, he doesn't look him. Oh, I forgot. What I wanted to look at is this Priority Eden Prime and 7 Cerberus Lab.
The second species to join the Citadel, the Solarians are warm-blooded amphibians with a hyperactive metabolism. Solarians think fast, talk fast, and move fast. To Solarians, other species seem sluggish and dull-witted. Unfortunately, their metabolic speed leaves them with a relatively short lifespan. Solarians over the age of 40 are a rarity. The Solarians were responsible for advancing the development of the primitive Krogan species to use as soldiers during the Rachni Wars. They were also behind the creation of the genophage bioweapon the Turians used to quell the Krogan rebellions several centuries later. Solarians are known for their observational capability and non-linear thinking. This manifests as an aptitude for research and espionage. They are constantly experimenting and inventing, and it is generally accepted that they always know more than they're letting on. Roughly 1,200 years ago, the Turians were invited to join the Citadel Council to fulfill the role of galactic peacekeepers. The Turians have the largest fleet in Citadel space, and they make up the single largest portion of the Council's military forces. As their territory and influence has spread, the Turians have come to rely on the Solarians for military intelligence and the Asari for diplomacy. Despite a somewhat colonial attitude towards the rest of the galaxy, the ruling hierarchy understands they would lose more than they would gain if the other two races were ever removed. Turians come from an autocratic society that values discipline and possesses a strong sense of personal and collective honor. There is lingering animosity between Turians and humans over the First Contact War of 2157, which is known as the Relay 314 incident to the Turians. Officially, however, the two species are allies, and they enjoy civil, if cool, diplomatic relations.
Right, we've heard about Alliance Council species. Let's do something. There's a fuel depot here. So we can do this without any retaliation, right? That's good, actually. But as far as I can see, there's nothing in this star system that could catch our eye. Right, let's go yet to another star system. I mean star cluster first. Right, priority Eden Prime and Palavan. Strike Abyssal. Strike Abyssal. What's this? I can't... Strange. Oh well, I guess it's how the game works. Wallace. An unusually small Pegasus or hot Jupiter, Wallace was originally an extrasolar planet that entered this system and was captured by the gravity well of the G-class star Skepsis. Tidally locked, Wallace's hot side reaches temperatures over 2,500 degrees Celsius. While not large enough proportionate to the star to cause eclipses visible from Watson, it is easily seen at dawn or dusk as one of the brightest objects in the sky. Orbital distance 0.04 astronomical units, orbital period 11 Earth days, radius 39,459 kilometers, day length 11 Earth days. Darwin. The mid-sized rock planet Darwin is ironically named, being one of the worst places for life in the galaxy. Its atmosphere is punishing, its temperature boiling, its chemical makeup toxic. Carbon monoxide and methane wrap the planet in an unyielding haze, and scans of its surface show only silicates and molten tin. Its daily thermal fluctuations lead to hurricane-level vortices at each pole, forming ice that can be seen from orbit. Despite all this, Darwin is still used by spacers as a drive core discharge point. Hydrogen pierces the cloud in the upper atmosphere, making for a relatively benign approach. Orbital distance 0.9 astronomical units, orbital period 0.9 Earth years, radius 6,771 kilometers, day length 37.3 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 112.06 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature 710 Celsius, surface gravity 1.2 G. Watson is known in human media for two things: its spectacular tides brought on by a large moon, and the bureaucratic snafu over which Earth nations got to settle there first. Watson is a garden world we first discovered in 2165 CE, with credit claimed by the Chinese People's Federation, the United North American States, and the European Union. The system's alliance brokered the infamous Reykjavik Compromise, allowing limited colonization from each coalition in cities comprised of population from each nation. Watson itself trends colder than Earth, with a temperature zone measuring about 30 degrees latitude in either direction from the equator. Its life does not easily map to Earth's evolutionary eras. Some islands have species that resemble terrestrial planets' placental mammals, others are overrun by arthropods. It is estimated that at least 2 more generations of xenozoologists will be needed to properly classify all the species of the planet. Orbital distance 2.1 astronomical units, orbital period 3 Earth years, radius 6,733 kilometers, day length 37.8 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.6 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature minus 18 Celsius mean, 25 Celsius habitable zone, surface gravity 1.2 G. Franklin. A large moon, Franklin retains a trace atmosphere of carbon dioxide, but its desolate surface holds no signs of water or life. In order to defend Watson from the pirates of the Terminus systems, Franklin is home to 2 Alliance spaceports and naval bases capable of fielding 6 fighter squadrons each and classified number of interplanetary ballistic missiles. Mass effect fields keep the gravity in its installations at a comfortable level for long-term living. Orbital distance 2.1 astronomical units, orbital period 33 Earth days, around Watson, 3 Earth years around Skepsis. Radius 2,405 kilometers, their length 33 Earth days. Atmospheric pressure trace, surface temperature minus 116 Celsius, surface gravity 0.1 G. Crick. Known for its spectacular geysers that can be seen from orbit, Crick is a rock planet with expansive frozen oceans. Though it is within the temperature and pressure range for human habitation, its thick atmosphere is largely carbon dioxide and monoxide, making breath masks for environmental suits mandatory. The most abundant resources for exploitation are the potassium salts found in its seabeds, which fed good prices on terraforming worlds. Orbital distance 4.3 astronomical units, orbital period 8.9 Earth years, radius 4,738 kilometers, their length 60.7 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 2.77 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature minus 32 Celsius, surface gravity 0.6 G. Crick is the next planet after Brick. Yep. Pauling. A hydrogen-methane gas giant, Pauling's gravitational field is believed to have cleared most of what would otherwise have been a sizable asteroid belt. The 2163 mission of the space probe Ultimate gave the inhabitants of Watson reams of data reinforcing this theory, giving the colonists an accurate count of its moons, 66 rings, moon-like ring objects, and more than 200 impact craters on the surface of its metallic core. Ultimate has been since retrieved for reuse on subsequent missions within the solar system. Orbital distance 4.3 astronomical units, orbital period 8.9 Earth years, radius 4,738 kilometers, their length 60.7 Earth hours. The next should be a giant drake. Gamowitz. Named for the 21st century pioneer of groundwater remediation techniques, Gamowitz is an impressive layer of ice over a stony metallic core. Despite its size, it has only one moon, Nova, which shares its carbonaceous composition, leading astronomers to believe it formed following a giant impact. Iridium deposits have attracted miners to the planet, who must work through robots and telepresence because of the planet's strong gravity. Orbital distance 16.8 astronomical units, orbital period 69.1 Earth years, radius 9,586 kilometers, their length 29.77 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure trace, surface temperature minus 190 Celsius, surface gravity 3.4 G. I think we scanned the system once we were cleared of the Cerberus lab. I think it's DLC, but who knows? Liana. Liana Cloaked is a methane clouded hothouse planet. Its lack of metal-rich core and significant magnetosphere allows for an easy scan which reveals mining equipment on its surface. It can be deduced that this mining occurred within the last 5 years. Any longer and the machines would have been worn down to nothing by the excessive heat and dust storms of hot iron oxide. Orbital distance 1.4 astronomical units, orbital period 1.7 Earth years, radius 6,197 kilometers, their length 36.2 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 37.64 Earth atmospheres, surface temperature 365 Celsius, surface gravity 1 G. Right, let's read about this planet and go raid somebody. Sanctum is a proof of the old spacer adage: just because it's a garden world doesn't mean it's a picnic. Freezing ice storms cover the poles and temperate zones, leaving a narrow strip of habitable land at the equator. Dry but windy, this area is a home to Sanctum minimal terrestrial plant life. The planet has yet to develop land-based animals, though invertebrates grow quite large in its pelagic seas. Mining, referred to as ice cracking, at anywhere but the equator, is common employment in Sanctum. The planet is rich in platinum and palladium deposits as well as boron, which is locally used in semiconductor doping. Trail advisory: carbon dioxide levels on Sanctum can reach 5,000 parts per million during thermal inversions. Travelers should carry a breath mask at all times and consult the Sanctum World Weather Service for warnings. Travel advisory: piracy is at 14-year global high on Sanctum. Visitors should take appropriate security precautions. Colony founded 2169, population 257,300. Capital Volpass. Orbital distance 2.6 astronomical units, orbital period 4.2 Earth years, radius 6,651 km, day length 69.4 Earth hours, atmospheric pressure 0.4 Earth atmosphere, surface temperature minus 50 Celsius mean and 4 Celsius equator, surface gravity 1.2 G. Ass crack. Ooh, that would be painful, I guess. I believe that... I don't know. Oh, we may raid out to Kylie VT. She's playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the Sith Lords. The second part of the Knights of the Old Republic. Right. I don't think we've ever raided her. So that's gonna do it for tonight. I thank you everyone for watching. I hope that you enjoyed as much as I did. Wish you good nights, sweet dreams, and we're raiding to Kylie VT. She's playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords. Please give her some love. And until next time, everyone, bye!